Okay. All right. So let me do that introduction again, considering that the microphone was muted. So welcome everyone to another Polygon Pilgrimage live stream. We're going to go ahead and get started here. We do have a limited amount of time, so we want to jump right in. However, I need to do my usual preamble. This is a live event, so we may have noises, distractions, technical difficulties, whatever it is, we'll work through it together. And we will be working on the Substance Painter and the Sketchfab Sci-Fi Card Challenge. So they presented us with this model, and we've taken the model, I got it prepped and ready for painting, and now we have 3 sessions, approximately 3 hours apiece, to sit down together and paint this. So we're under about a 10-hour time frame. So we're about to get started here, going live. So what we're going to do, we're going to jump in and paint this. So we have to work hard, we have to work fast, but what I have in front of me here is a completely blank file, so we're going to start completely from scratch together. So let's go ahead and jump over, and we will get started. So what I've done here for you guys tonight is I have, I'm looking over here, but I should be pointing here. I have my camera set up right about here for you guys so that I'm out of the way of most of the 3D-ness that's going on. Now this does cover up the 2D texture here, which I'm going to have to be zooming in and out on to do various things, but I think I'll be working in roughly this area here, so it shouldn't be a bother to you guys. I wanted you guys to have the majority of the 3D space available. So with that being said, let's take a look at the chat, make sure that we're doing well, and make sure everybody is happy. So far so good. Okay. So like I said, we're going to jump right in. It's a quick, gotta get a quick start on this. So what we have here is the car, and it's completely unpainted, as you can see, and it has been broken up into several sections. And again, I want to give a shout out to my buddy John, who really helped me come through and fix this, among other issues we've been having. Pardon me. We got it all fixed up. So let me just turn off the background so we're not distracted from our car here. So we have several sections here. I'll just go through them quickly. This section is just the glass. If I choose solo mode, you'll see here. So it is two-sided, so we don't have to worry about both sides. The interior of the car, this is the cockpit and the area in which the pilots would, they're working on spaceships a lot. An area in which the driver and secondary driver and passenger would sit. We have the seats themselves as a separate objects entirely. And I should note that they are overlapped, so we paint one, we paint both. That's good. And we have the wheels, just the wheels themselves. And that should cover everything. Oh, and the engine. The engine is these little kind of muscle car looking parts here, so those are separate by themselves. Alright, so we go back to the body. I'm going to unhide everything so we can see it all. And for tonight, we're going to try and focus mainly on the body and the wheels, try to get some good work done on those. I think we should be doing pretty well. So, to start off with, we're going to start by getting ourselves organized, look at what we have and figure out where we need to go. So I'm going to make a couple of folders up here. This folder I'm going to call Base Paint. I'm going to make another folder called Decorations, if I can spell. And we do also have a couple of other things in there, but we'll start with those. Pardon me. So under the base paint, I'm going to go ahead and add a fill layer, and I'll drop that into there. Now for the base paint, we want only the surface of the car that would be the body of the car. So none of the glass, we don't want the lights, anything like that. So we have to mask that out. So let's go ahead and do that. And with a black mask, I'm going to switch over to my UV mode here and choose white. And I would just click away. So I'm going to click that. You get all your parts on the bottom. Just have to make sure we grab it all. There's lots of different UV shells here, and the reason for that is we had to separate them in order to allow us to have better finite control over the smoothing. Pardon me, that's looking pretty good. I can also click in here. As you can see in the 2D view, I'm also selecting from there, so I make sure I get everything. So we're just going to click a bunch for a moment here. Make sure I know where I'm clicking. I can also turn on my wireframe. So so I can see my wireframe here, so I know certain things, like I know that there's this thin area around the front headlights that needs to be clicked, but I don't want to click the grill because I know the grill is going to be something different entirely. So go ahead and click all of this, and I can keep hovering over this and I can check on how it's going, and that looks pretty good, but I'm missing some pretty big pieces. So that's going to be the engine. We don't want to click that. Click all these underbody parts, make sure we got all of those. Okay, it's coming along pretty nicely. I can see a couple of things in here that maybe I can click. Ah, there we go, I missed that one. Ah, yes, and all of this here. So let's fill in all that, get our selections going. Very good, very good. Excellent. Now, another really good way in order to tell what you may have missed is to add sort of a garish color to begin with, and then what you do is look at it and just say, oh hey, it looks like I missed this, that, or the other. So I think I'm going to do that in a moment here and make sure that we don't have anything missing still. Okay. Looks pretty good. Make sure we get it all. Make sure it's all selected. It's looking pretty good. Okay. So let's add a color, and we can use that as a guide. So turn off the wireframe. And just throw this very, very bright color on here, and this will help us out a lot. Okay, there we go. So now if we go back to our masking, we can click and show, see what we missed. See, some of these tiny little things are easy to miss. It's looking pretty good. Get all the undersides. Like I said, lots of little pockets of things, so it's easy to miss when you're. Lots of angles in this car too. So, oh, see, I got some things I didn't mean to get as well. So that's always something we can check on. This is some decoration pieces. That's okay. We'll get all of this for now. We'll come back and we'll change that up. All right, underside. That's the engine technically, so I'm not gonna worry about it at the moment. Okay, there we go. Got all of that, all of that. Okay. Oh, I see. Oh no, that's right. That's right, because I'm gonna actually do something special with that. I've done a lot of planning for this before you guys even see it, so I hope it all turns out well and that you guys like it. Tried to sort of think ahead of what I'm going to do. All right, we're getting there quickly. Get it all filled in. See, I accidentally clicked the front light there, so we gotta uncheck that as well. No problem. That's good. That's good. Those are probably gonna be a different metal in the end anyway. Okay, oh, I just saw one. There it is. Okay, so now let's go ahead and find out where we went wrong on some of these things. And we'll go ahead and fix that up. And I cannot slide. There we go. Okay. So now to revert things, I'm just going to go to black and add back to the mask. So things like that I did not mean to click. But things like this I do need to click. So let's just go white and click that again. There you go. Now back to black, and we can undo some things. Like these, we want to make these a separate piece of metal. So I'm just going to undo those. There we go. It's a tiny little sliver I have to click there. Oh, accidentally clicked that. I do want that. Thank you. And I remember I clicked this by accident. There we go. Okay, that's good. That's good. quite. Do you want that? Okay. Good. Oh, well, that's all going to be changed, so that's fine. Okay, looking pretty good. We're going to start with that. You can make adjustments over time. So we have our base car set up, but I really kind of hate this color, and it doesn't work for me. I don't like it. So let me zoom out on this so I can see more of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to import a substance that I already created. Import substance into project. Car challenge. Car paint. So this is a car paint that I made. So I'm going to import that. And we're going to use that instead. Now the problem is it's also called car paint. And there's already a thing called car paint, so define mine. It's still importing it, so to give it a second. Car paint, come on, import substance into package. Thank you. That's not mine. Okay, we'll adjust the colors instead. Oh, this is mine. I just have to change the colors. So for the colors here, I think we're going to go for a much more white type of car, like a little bit of an off-white is what I think I discussed. And for the flex color, I really kind of don't want any flex in the paint at the moment because I'm really not happy with how they turned out. So I'm just going to turn them off for now. I'm going to turn the alpha all the way down to 0, and they should just kind of disappear after that. Alpha 0, and they're not turning off, are they? Okay, well, we can work around that. Let me take a look at the default one. How does that work out? The default car paint instead. Thank you. Okay. Problem is this is it's very, very, I don't know, something about it I don't quite like, so I'm gonna make some adjustments to it until I do like it. Let's go ahead and up the resolution quite a bit. Give it a second. You see this bar moving right here? That means it's thinking. So some of my changes don't take effect right away. There we go. That's getting a lot better. I really want to go much higher than that though, so that when the light moves across the surface here, it should be pretty smooth. That's pretty good. We're getting there. All right, let's go ahead and change the color. Make it very, very white. Almost something like that. Pull back and see what we get. Doesn't quite look right. Maybe it's still thinking. There we go. That's looking pretty good. Still a little rough. So let's see what we can do for that. Metal roughness. Turn that down. And paint metallic. Up a little bit. Make the paint a little rougher. We'll give that a second to think. It's amazing software, guys, but it does need a moment to calculate. It's doing a lot for me. Need to take that under consideration. All right, welcome to our new viewers. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm happy to help. You guys have anything that you're working on, you would like some advice or anything like that, happy to help. Let's see. Let's make the metal less, paint less. push that and see what happens. Okay, so while that cures, let's go ahead and figure out some other base colors that we're going to be using here. I do want a sort of a dark gray that we're going to use for the grill and for a couple other areas. So I'm going to go ahead and make a new folder, and I'm going to make that folder underneath this one. Come on, I want it right there. There we go. Let's call this dark gray. So anything in this group is going to be dark gray. And we need to add a mask. Oops. Black mask, thank you. UVs all the way up. So let's pick some of our dark gray areas. So maybe that guy. And let's do this guy. And we'll do these two things and this. And I like this thing being dark. And the front of it as well. The back of it as well. That's pretty good to start with. Oh, I accidentally clicked the whole of this. I did not want that. Okay, let's start with that and see how we go. So we're going to add a fill layer to this to start with, and I'm just going to give it just a straight color to begin, and we'll work from it from there. Let's pick our gray value. I think around here, let's find the value 0.4. That's what I want. There we go. So now that we can see our dark value, it might be a little bit easier to fill it out. I'm wondering why it's not taking this. It's not in our base paint, is it? No? He's right there. Interesting. It's not picking up our choice for this as being in the gray group. He's not in this group, I don't think. I'll make sure. There we go. Maybe that'll fix it. So he's definitely not in the first group. Confirm that. Yeah, there's a hole there. Oh, it's because the dark gray group goes all the way through. I got you. There we go. Perfect. So now with dark gray around the opening. I like that a lot. Like that a lot, guys. That's looking pretty good. Okay. The paint still kind of bothers me a little bit. It looks, still has that kind of sheen in it, and I don't really like that. So let's figure out how we can fix that. No metal roughness, no paint roughness. And the paint is pure metallic. So, okay, we'll work on that. Now we have our dark gray. We need another, like a tertiary color to kind of help us break up some areas, because otherwise everything being one color doesn't really work all the time. So let's pick a tertiary color. Is going to be our light gray group. Just going to add that. Light gray. And let's add a fill. Add that in there and do our black mask. There we go. Okay. So now what I can do is, if I change the color of the fill right away, give us our gray value. Where I like that. Now we can see it pop right away as we add things to it. So if I go here and say add the top value, boom, he gets thrown in there right into the mix right away. Throw that in there. Undo that. Undo that. In there. Grab you. Now I'm trying to grab just this top piece. There we go. No, that doesn't work. Darn. Grab just the hood. Grab just the hood and these side pieces. There we go. I do like this little element underneath. Pretty neat little area. We'll add some edges around that to kind of mask him off. I like these little hook things, so we'll grab those. Excellent. And the bumper as well. Okay, that's looking pretty good. We got some good material definition going on, and we're going to add a lot of details. This is very early in the process, so don't you worry. Now, let's define some more groups here. It's going to be a lot of organization to begin with, guys, but stick with me here. I got you. Our headlights, let's add a fill for that for the base color. And I do have a color actually that I picked out for that. Let me see if I can find it. Just a second. Let's see. Okay. Come on. Almost there. I have a list over here, and I'm trying to scroll through it for the colors. There we go. Okay. There it is. So pull up Photoshop real quick. I got a whole bunch of stuff going on here, but we do a paint swatch. I have a value here, a specific value that I got picked out. Let's see. There we go. And the reason why I got to do it this way is it doesn't matter where I put this. Anyway, just kind of splotch it down there. I need to get the RGBs out of it. Let's see, 206, 105. The reason being is, in Painter here, it doesn't deal with RGBs all that well. See, they're like percentages. So there's nothing really you can do to change that out. But what these are is these are percentages of, I can do hue, saturation, value. Maybe I could do that. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. 40, 59, and 100. Oh wait, that was not what I thought I was looking at. Yeah. Let's try that. Back to Painter. Come on. 40.59. Yeah, that's not the same thing. Not the same thing. But anyway, for the moment, what we're going to do is mask this, and that way we can see our headlights show up. There we go. Looks like a face, you know? They do that a lot with cars. So we'll come back to that to make sure that's correct, but important thing is we have it masked off so we know what kind of a detail we have going on there. Let's do the tail lights next. So we'll add a page for that. Let's go ahead and jump over here. There we go. Okay, cool. Tail lights. And black mask. That's pretty simple. Just the 4 of them right there. I'll add a fill for that. Actually, I'll just copy the fill from here. Copy. Thank you. There you go. Okay. So doing pretty well. We've got a nice little base start here. Let's go ahead and do a quick save. Make sure we're saving often. Session 1, save file 1. So now that we have all that going, we should take a look at our list. So here's the list that I made of all the things I want to do to this. So we got the suspension, the headlights, the edge of the glass, the front grille, brake pads, logo, stripes. I have an idea for a license plate. We can build that together. Gas tank. Yeah, I'm going to add a gas tank detail. Engine pipes, make them dirty. The wheels, lug nuts. The inside, the HUD for the car, because it's all like holographic display inside. Leather chairs, screws, rivets. There's no ground. I thought there was going to be some ground. Tail lights, we just started on those. Lots of panel seams, vents, bumpers, and bumper sticker. So there we go. So let's go ahead and work on something fancy to start with. We're going to give ourselves a license plate. License plate, and you know, when they have like the name of the car and the design, I've got an idea for that. So we're going to just work on that. Let's start with that and give ourselves something cool right off the bat. So move the light around, make sure I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so here we are at the back of the car, and we need a license plate. So what I've been doing is working on this Photoshop file here, where you saw I just did that for whatever reason. So I downloaded this image from, this is a French license plate. This is what the license plates look like in France. So I'm going to build up a stencil that we can use. And that stencil we will then use on the 2D graph to make sure it's placed exactly, and when we do that, we can then create our own license plate. Pretty cool, huh? So here's the original image, and I have two different fonts that I chose. I kind of like this one because it's very sci-fi, so I think we're going to go with that. So let's go ahead and select, expand this all the way out. Go here. I gotta get rid of this. There we go. The marching ants were bothering me. Okay. So it's probably gonna be something like, yeah, 250, 300, somewhere in that range. Let's see. 250. That's pretty good. Oh, really close. Yeah. There we go. Okay, good. So now we have our text for our license plate. It's pretty good. Now, as you can see for the French license plate, and the reason I did French is because this is the Substance Painter Challenge, and Algorithmic is a French company, so I figured I would go with French. So the license plate is 2 letters, 3 digits, and 2 letters. So what I did here was I chose SF for Sketchfab, 8/15, August 2015, which is when it started officially, and SP for Substance Painter. So that's my little way that I do that. Okay, so let's take this guy and move him into here. Let's undo that. There we go. Okay. So it chose our font. We like it. We're gonna get it in place. And see, I have a white background there, so this would be a good stencil beginning. I do want to make sure, though, that our stencil is kind of living up to the shapes that we need. So let's go ahead and add a few more shapes. I'm going to zoom in here and get all of our various areas all set up. So we can do some double duty with this if we just do that. So now if I go and make a copy of you and delete from the middle, then I have just that. And now if I change the color of you and put you on top of this, it'll look different. Excellent. Okay. Solid, and this part is just the outer. There, that's that. Solid, and this is a reference. Okay. And our text. We want our text to actually be white. Even though it's all white at the moment, you'll see this gets very, very difficult to have all white, but we have to in order to make it all work. Okay. don't I use something? Oh, great, thanks. And you've been banned. Okay, so we have our font here, and the important part is it's layered directly on top of our other shapes here. So we're just going to keep saving out and reusing these. So that's good. These are all right where we need them to be. And we do need a couple more things here before we continue. We got 2 logos and some more font here to do. So let's make a duplicate of this, and we just need a number there. So I'm gonna go with 17. Sounds pretty good. Just need to be smaller though. Nice if we could see it. Probably size 150. Okay, there we go. A number there, and then a number over here. I see a letter over here. Let's pick our letter, and I'm going to go with P for Substance Painter. I don't know, just something. Oops. Okay. Now I do have a couple more pieces here to this. I have downloaded the algorithmic logo and the Sketchfab logo. Where was he at? There you are, guys. Okay, I'm going to use these as well. So let's go ahead and get that. Select inverse, negative, select that. There we go. So copy that and put that onto our shapes file here. Paste. Okay, almost. Sorry for the tedium, but this is definitely important stuff that we're doing here. Make sure that we have a quality product. There we go, there's one shape in. And now we want to grab the algorithmic logo. Ooh, what happened there? Oh, there, copy. There we go. Put their logo over here. I'll probably just take just the logo and not the actual font that comes along with it, just because it's a little bit easier that way to have everything fit together. There we go. Okay, so now we have all the parts we need for our license plate, and it's going to look really good. So let's grab all of these, including all of these shapes. Yes, all of that. Okay. Save this file, and what I need to do is actually get a bit of a guide. So I'm going to jump over here to Max. I'm going to select my file. I'm going to edit my UVs. I'm going to choose just the body, so I can line up exactly where everything's going to go on this file here. So I'm going to render a template out, 4096 by 4096. Render a template. Okay, save. Cart challenge. Targa. Body UVs. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. All right, minimize you. Look for our file. There it is. Excellent. So we'll put that there, and we'll bring our shapes up here. Okay. Let's bring all this over here. There we go. So now we'll rotate. We start to place you. So we need to figure out, because I'm looking at this, and this is where the lights are, but I think that the actual bumper is over here, actually. So let's undo a little bit. There you go. I think the actual bumper is right here. Let's make sure I'm correct. So if we go into our groups here, yeah, he's in the light gray group. I want it to be right here. Yeah, I think I'm correct. That's the bumper. Excellent. Okay, so he's right here, which is good because it just means it's a little bit easier. We don't have to do so much zooming in. Doesn't have to be sideways and, you know, all kinds of stuff. There we go. So let's zoom in. Thank you. Okay, right there. Perfect. And I think right now, let's see how big. I'll bring back my wireframe a little bit. And I do think I want him to fit within that lower quadrant there. So if I look at this here, within this area, so that's still just a little bit big. Okay, there we go. Something like that. So right now he would be kind of down here, which is perfect. Okay. So we'll try that out, and all this is still together, so we can still add and remove as we need to. So what I'm going to do first off is have a shape like this, and then I'm going to need a shape like that for a secondary coloring, and then I'm going to need the text by itself, so I can keep just adding to this. So let's hide this. This is the license plate, yes. Add a layer beneath this, and this is just going to be solid black. The reason being that your stencils have to have a solid black background. So I'm going to start with this. So let's call this LP stencil. There we go. So call that. Save it. Perfect. Yeah, it's the exact shape of our UVs, which means it should work really nicely here. So I'm going to pull this out a bit. And welcome to our new viewers. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. All right, we're going to pull this out a bit, and let's move over here. Now, in our light gray area, I'm going to add just a flat layer. Now this is a layer we can hand paint on. It's not a fill layer, so this should help us out. Let's go add that into the group. Bring them up above. There we go. Okay. So now we can add a stencil. So we have to import our image. Import image into project. Desktop car challenge, and we called this LP stencil. There it is. Open, and you'll see it appear here in a moment. There it is. And it's having some issues there. Take a look at it. It should be solid white. Just white and black. Maybe I have to do a I hope I don't have to do this, but image, save as. We'll try this out. PNG version of it. And then we just revert the collapse, and we just use it as a working file instead. So let's, yeah, we'll just get rid of this. Can't get rid of images. Import image project. We'll just re-import it. So we'll import this guy. He's a solid white. There we go. Perfect. So add this to my stencil right there. So now you see the stencil appears, and for some reason it's not the same size. I mean, that's the whole point, right? Is that it's size. That's very odd. Okay, there's a way we can work around it, so it's not a problem. I know another way. There's always another way. So we are actually going to add a fill layer to this, and I think this will work. So if I add a fill and I tell it to use this resource, the stencil, there we go. So now that should be good. So now if I do a paint layer, I'm hoping, let's kill the stencil, and I want to say I can add a bitmap mask. There we go. I think that's what I want. Give it just a moment. There we go. Now we got it. So what I did there was I added a bitmap as a mask, and so just using it as a stencil that way instead of the traditional way that we would be using it. So that's no problem. We're using pure white at the moment, just kind of throwing it on there. And we turn off our wireframe, you can see we have our license plate is appearing. It's exciting, it's finally coming into play. So what we could do technically here is just build it entirely up in Photoshop and just flat out import it. But what I wanted to do is build this up so that I could use this as a mask to do multiple things, like adding in my roughness and my height. So for my height, I actually want this to be indented a bit, so that's important. So let's make sure we do that. Because I can paint the normal map, the height map, everything all at the same time. So if I scroll through my channels here, you can see height map, and I do want this to be indented quite a bit. Let's make sure that's working. Come on now. Ah, it is. Very difficult to see, but it's working. Check out the material. You can see as the light passes by, you can see it working there. So that's very good. Let's really bring it back quite a bit and see what happens. I'm going to adjust my brush too. Turn the hardness all the way up because I do just want to make some pretty broad strokes here. There we go. Good. Okay. We're getting somewhere. All right, back to Photoshop. No, XNormal. I did not mean to click you. I'm sorry. So now that we did that, we want to use this guy. So I'm going to save as LP stencil side. Give it a quick little name. I'm sorry, XNormal. I did not mean to click you. So now what I've done here, hey, thank you. Now what I've done here is I've added in, I don't think I need this layer anymore. Let's delete you, there we go. And do add a layer. This is good, this is good. Okay, I'm gonna add a bitmap mask. Oh wait, import it first. Come on. Import it first. LP stencil side, open, excellent. Bitmap mask. So now what we can do is we can actually pick a any color that we would like for this. So I'm going to change the color up a little bit, make it a little bit darker, somewhere in this range. I think that's good. We can always change it, which is awesome. My height, I actually want it to come back a bit. So something like that's good. There we go. And roughness, I do want this to be very rough. Okay, very good. Now I should be able to paint. There we go. And paint. There we go. So we're building up this one step at a time. We're building it up. Let's make sure we name this. So this is going to be license plate background. Colors, and then we're going to add more and more and more to it. So we're going to add another layer, and this is going to be our plate text. So this is going to be the actual numbers that are stamped in. So you know that's going to come out quite a bit. So let's do that. So that's all good. So here's our text, and I'm going to do these numbers separately. So for now it's just going to be this. Let's save ourselves another stencil. And I'm going to call this LP text. Okay, very good. We'll import it. Boom. And add bitmap mask. I'm assuming that's it. So now our color is actually going to be, oh, we forgot about metallic. We do want this to be pretty metallic. I'll make it a little shiny. We do want it to come out of the page quite a bit, so let's just go for the gusto. And coloring, we do want it to be pretty much black. There we go. Okay, so this should work. There's our license plate number. Really nice and easy. Oh, there you go. As the light hits it, you can see that it is 3D. Let's just go for the gusto and make it actually very, very 3D as much as we can, actually. Very cool. Zoom in on that. We'll make it a bit more metallic. I can just click and paint over it and make changes, which is awesome. Very cool. I'm enjoying this. This is awesome. So there we go. We have a license plate. Like, how easy was that? I do want to make a quick change. An idea I just had. Something that I don't want to say we forgot to do, but it'd be nice to have. There we go. So I'm going to zoom in. Probably too far. There we go. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. All right. And I'm going to select, inverse, add a layer. Should really be naming all of these. It's bad, poor practice on my part. Select these, modify, expand, 10 pixels. There we go, yeah. I'm going to fill that in. Now I'm actually going to deselect, select the previous layer by, yeah, doing that. Go up to this guy and delete. I'm gonna make a little trim around it. So save as. Trim, there we go. Painter, file. Import image. Excellent. This will be one of the topmost layers, but that's okay. LP trim. Add bitmap mask. Yep, there it is. Okay, so now we need to determine what we want here. So I do want this to be very metallic, a little bit less rough, very pushed out. We'll keep our black for now. That should work, okay. There we go. That's pretty neat. I don't know how many other cars are going to have license plates. So ours has a nice license plate. And we will add, I'm going to add some color actually to the plate colors. I think I actually want to change the color in that. I'm going to pick the color that we used up here just so it's consistent. I think I can just paint, right? All of my settings should be the same. Yeah, there we go. There we go. And when we change that, we'll make sure we change it across the board. Okay. Let's get our logos in there, and I think we'll be good with this. Oh, we have 2 more texts to do, so let's do those. Second text. All right. Add that. LP. Second text. Okay. And this will be, yeah, the black text as well. Well, it could be white, but yeah. And yep, height, rough. That's all good. Bitmap mask. Oh, we did not import it yet. Import texture. There it is. Glad that it does like this. It has the name on the bottom because some of it would be kind of hard to tell. Okay, let's paint that and that. P17, just because. Very good. And one final step. We're going to import our logos. So we need to, let's see, probably save this as 2 different points. So let's do logos. And then what I'm going to need to do is color overlay of white. What I'm doing here is I'm adding, paste layer style. I'm adding a color overlay to turn them pure white so that I can turn that image also into a mask. So LP logo mask. Okay. Back to Painter. Import image. And now we can import both of those, hopefully. Can I import more than one thing? That would be nice. Now I think what I need to do is import a fill. Maybe that's what I need to do. So this might need to be a fill. Bring that in. Where did you go? All the way on the bottom. That's pretty neat. So now I need to fill it with the logos. Let's see what that does. Give it a second to think. And what do you think? Okay, there you go. So it puts the logos in place, but now we need to mask it out. Pardon me. Bitmap mask of the logos. So LP text, stencil. There they are. Logo mask. Perfect. So we have a fancy license plate. It actually looks really good, even up close. I do think I want to change one thing. The trim. I think I want to make it like a silver. I don't know why. I think that would be better. Silver, very shiny, very 3D, yeah, very, very, very metallic. Okay, I want to make that change. If you guys have not gotten into using this software and you haven't seen how amazing it is already, but I mean, look, I wanted to make that change, and oops. And that change is now made. So there we are. We have a cool license plate. I do feel like it's a little big overall. So I wish there was an easy way to sort of just scale that all of it down. Since this is all but I don't think there is a way to do that. Just, you know, select all of this and say, take everything I've done here and like Control T it and make it smaller. But no, it's okay. We'll roll with it. That's the size we decided on. We have to remake all the masks to make it all smaller if we wanted to, but I really like the look of it. It's really cool. So let's go ahead and get some nice lighting on it, and we'll take a picture. All right, so we'll bring this back over here so you guys don't have to look at so much of that. But let's fill the screen with this. Show off what we've been doing, and let's compare to how it looks with our original source. If we look up French license plate, the original license plate looks pretty good. Our areas are pretty solid, and they've got a little bit more logo, and they've got a little bit more, you know, bump around it. But I think in general we've got a pretty good license plate. Let's do a quick print screen of that. Okay. And we can cut that out. Don't need that. Paste, okay. There we go. All right. So we're going to take a quick moment here and just sort of let people know where we're at. So, card challenge. Going to take a quick moment here and share this. Okay, we'll share that with everybody, see if we can get them to come join us. Okay, so back to it. So now we have that done. We can work on the bumper a little bit more to finish that off. Should work on the glass, but let's tackle the grill next. We want to have a cool pattern for the grill, so we should take a look at doing that. So let's get a quick glance at what does it take to make a cool looking grill. I kind of want a neat, something neat, you know, a cool pattern we can follow. Well, that's pretty good. Maybe the honeycomb pattern is pretty cool. I don't know how difficult that would be, but let's give it a whirl, shall we? All right. So let's go for that. So we want to add a fill in there for the grill. So I'm going to pop over to Substance Designer and let's design a grill. Doesn't really need to be that high end because we're going to make it and we're going to tile it. So, but this is another Substance product rather, and I know that the point is to use the use Painter primarily, and that's definitely what we're doing. But I just want to see if we can make a cool grill to go along with it. That's all. So let's tile this up. Let's not tile it very much because we don't want to be pushing too far. And now we can change the width. There we go. It's pretty good. Let's just do something pretty simple. We're not going to be worrying too much about it. So I wouldn't worry too much about what I'm doing here. This is not the point of the challenge, so I don't really want to focus on it. But I am making you know, just a material that we can import into Substance Painter. So we've got that, and then really we just want a just a dual color thing split from here. So okay, let's do it. So blend. We want two blends. Two blends. I'm gonna put this in as the thing in this in here as well, but this one levels it. And what I'm doing with the levels here is I'm actually gonna inverse my mask effectively. So now this top one should be the color of the actual bars, and this one will be the color of the spaces between the bars. So I'm gonna drop that, or dock that rather, and let's do this. Uniform color. Duplicate, bring them up here. Try and bring these closer together. Okay. So for the blend, I'm gonna blend this guy here, this guy here, blend them together, and drop that in as the solid color. View in 3D. So right now, the reason that it's having trouble showing us here is because right now we have no information for how reflective it is or how metallic it is, so it's going full on both. So once we make some changes here, like if I just change the color, see, there we go. So now this will be the color that is for our behind. So I want this to be very dark, but not quite black, because we want the other one to be pretty much black. So 55 sounds good. Okay, so that's pretty much, oh, that needs to be much darker. Well, it depends. Yeah, it needs to be darker. But that's okay. What I'm going to do here is take the output here and I'm going to expose it. What this means is this allows us to change it once we bring it in. So, background color, there we go. And I'll expose this one as for FG color. There we go. Very cool. And I could expose these things too, like space width. Come on, thank you. And let's do this too. Say base tiling. There we go. Okay. And then we'll blend. So we have our final color. I'm going to bring that into here. And what I'm going to do here is then pass this into a levels, actually a histogram scan. Yeah, I think it's a scan that I like best. Yeah. Now I have adjustments to make over how reflective this is. For each part, I can make that change. And I don't even need this really. I just need this into this. So I'll duplicate this. Whoa, what happened there? Oh, grayscale conversion. Oh, there we go. Even better. Even better. So this one on the bottom is how metallic it is. So if I make this change and say, make it very dark, very bright rather, then I'm saying that I want this to be very, very metallic. So I actually want to bring that back a little bit and up the contrast to make them both similar. There we go. And for this guy, this is how rough it is. So for the roughness, what I'm going to do is make this quite bright for the behind parts, and then what I want is the foreground parts to be rather I actually want it to be rather close to one another, but that's not so bad. Okay, that's pretty cool. So we'll go with that. And what I'll do here is save this, save it in the folder so we can always come back to it. Card challenge, just call this grill. And in the Explorer here, I will export this grill as well. There we go, grill, and I have my I should have my parameters available. Yeah, there they are. Okay, good. Now back over here. So our grill I think is in our dark group area. Let me check. Yes, he is. We open this up, and I'm going to add a fill layer. Let's call this grill. There you go. Let's import our substance. So we can import from the one software to the other software in order to have additional features like this. Just I'm going to bring in grill. Here it is. I'm going to drop it in here. Yeah, there you go. He's in there. Okay. Okay. I think we need to up the tiling on it because I can't see it. Yeah, there it is. 75. 100. That's as high as it goes. Okay, so there's the grill. And it's kind of pixelated because it gets so small. Let's try and bring that up. 75. There we go. And now we should be able to change the colors here. So these are all the things that I just set, saying I wanted to be able to change them. So the base tiling, I can increase the base tiling, and that way I can get a more finite material here, and I don't have to have this tile so much. So I could, in general, put this at, say, 1, so it doesn't really tile, and then increase the base tiling a bit, and say, hey, tile as much as you can before I have to tile it here. See? So say 20. That's pretty good. Okay. And now we can make adjustments. So now we say, my foreground color, I don't want you to be solid black, but I want you to be somewhere in that range. And I want my background color to be actually a little bit closer to that. Let's see how that looks. Something happened there. It's almost unviewable because it's so close. But just because they're so close in color? Huh. Interesting. Okay, well, we'll roll with it. Let's see what we can do here. Let's make this 12. Thank you. Thank you. We can always go back here and make changes too. You can say, hey, this is not really working for us. Let's see what we can do about that. You know, I think we can make it work. So now the grill is in place. That is excellent. I do also want to, I think this is a separate UV shell. Come on now. Whoa. All of that is UV shell? That's unfortunate. Okay, so we're not going to do that. But we can, hey. Oh. I see what we did there. I got you. I got you. Okay, that's fine for now. Okay, so we have our license plate, we have our front grille, which is looking nice. Now, let's work on the tires, I think. I want to jump around a little bit. Let's work on the tires for a bit. Let's see if we can get somewhere on those. So we're going to leave this behind and say save. And let's move over to the wheels. Okay, so for the wheels here, we've got a couple things going on. We have, if I can, nope, there it is, okay. So what we have is, we've got them offset so that everything will tile one time over, which is fantastic. Now what we need is, we need a couple of different colors here, and we need a pattern for the tires for a tire tread pattern. So I should look up one of those and see if we can create one of those pretty quickly. So tire tread pattern yeah, the highest quality possible. Yeah, let's see what we can do. Just something. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, just something that would be pretty cool. I think I see one that I like. Pretty simple. Alright, so we'll save that. Basically, we just have to create a shape that will repeat. So it's not going to be too difficult. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started on that. So for the tires, let's go ahead and it's going to be the straight rubber parts. So we'll mask that out. So let's pick that. Choose that and that and that and that. I think we also have to pick the back of it. There is a little bit on the back. There we go. And yeah, we can just barely see it over the rim, but we will see it when we rotate around. Let's see what we're getting there. There we go. Good, good, good. I don't think I want this interior part to be rubber. We're going to make that metal, and we're going to do some cool stuff with that, so we're not going to touch that. Okay, so that's all the rubber that we have. So for this, let's add a fill layer to begin with. Let's call this base rubber. We'll throw that in there. Okay. There is a uniform rubber that we can add to that, so that kind of gives us a great head start right there. I do want to add some subtle, imperfections to it and that sort of thing, and we're going to add the tread. So let's work on the tread, because that's going to be probably our biggest challenge right away. So again, we're going to bring up max and give ourselves a guide. Let's go to the wheels and render out a guide. Go. Okay, we're doing really well for only an hour in so far, guys, so excellent. If you guys have any questions, as always, please let me know and I will be happy to help. Wheels, UVs, there we go. Alright, we're flying right along. Just saved it, so I know it's in here. There we go. Okay. So we need to make ourselves a tire tread pattern, and the most important part is that it has to loop. So that's really all there is to it, is that it has to loop. So we have to make sure that it does. And we're going to set this up. Come on. Put you on the bottom. The background has to be black. I'm going to set this to screen. UVs. Okay, now I can start building things with white. Okay, so we need a pattern, so let's take a look at what we got. I like something like this that we can do. If I look at my kind of reference image over here, yeah, just some base patterns in there, some curvatures, something neat, something sci-fi, so that's what we're gonna do. So I'm going to make one of these that is roughly the size of the small, and then a new, I'm going to make one roughly the size of the big. Two different sizes to the same pattern, so two different types of wheels. There's the front and the back wheels. So we don't necessarily want them to be exact copies of one another. That'd be a little boring. So we'll see. That's the big one. Let's move that down. Okay, so let's go all the way to the end here, and we'll bring this guy along. And I definitely want to, let's make a duplicate of him so I don't trash the original, and make him pretty skinny. And this is interesting. I don't necessarily want it to be exactly like that, but we'll see what we can do. thinking something like that. Something like that. There we go. Something like that is pretty good. And if I were to duplicate you, okay. Now what we want is kind of a shape in the middle. So I'm thinking of making some other shapes and then cutting out from this one. Let's take a look at what we got again. So we're cutting out of that. So what could be interesting for that? This could be interesting. Let's try this. So I'll bring this down to the halfway point. There we go. Make a duplicate of view. Edit, transform, flip vertical. Something like that. Hang in there with me. I got a good idea. Bring that over there somewhere. Okay. Now we go with the simple shapes, you know, just something to kind of cut through this. Had not considered that. Interesting. I'll give it a whirl. Transform, flip vertical. Okay. So now, if I take these two shapes and combine them, this guy and rasterize the layer and then delete from it. We got this interesting kind of, I don't know if it'll be interesting or not, but we'll see. And we still have this, good. Now let's bring these two shapes over. Okay. And make a duplicate of these guys because again I don't want to trash the originals. So I'm going to combine those. Take this. Inverse. Delete. Okay. One final step is I'm going to take this guy, make a duplicate of you, I'll move you over, and rasterize you, get your shape. Invert. Well, it's not, you know, fantastic, but I kind of like it. Let's see how it tiles. That's going to be the major important part, is how well does it tile. So if we remove this, take these guys, let's put them in a group so that it's easier to see. And we'll move this over. Can I duplicate? No. That's okay. Let's duplicate. It's not bad. I think let me see what I think. have a thought, and then we're going to check it out and see what. Maybe interspersing them with completely solid, and these would be something that we could try. So we have that. Now let's take the completely solid guy. Yeah, I think I like it. Okay, so let's call this group stripes, and I'm going to just move all this out of the way, and I'm going to put all of these into a group, call this solids, and now we just have to kind of do our thing. Make a duplicate, move it over. And the important part is, again, that it loops, so we need to make sure that we're lining up exactly every time. And what we could do here to kind of speed up the process is select all of them in the group at once, and then you end up with exactly twice. So what you do is you do this, and then every time you double. So all that, but they're getting off kilter. They're off kilter. Okay, hang on. Very important that the first one be lined up, because otherwise it all goes to hell after that. Let's see. Okay, you were lined up. That's lined up, so it stands to reason that lining up you, I should be lining up you. I think I'm getting a an artifact of pixel count. I just have to be careful of that. And that's the exact number of pixels, and the way it's displayed is a little bit off. So like by lining this guy up, the second one here, this one is not quite lined up sometimes, so we just have to be careful. So we are going to go a little slower. Yeah, see, when I put this guy exactly in place, this guy is still a pixel or 2 pixels off. So and this guy looks a little off too. Nope, he's right on the button. Okay. So I apologize, it's a little slow, but this is the best method to make sure that it lines up. You see this, yeah, this guy got off a little bit. I'll try and go as quickly as I can with this. Sorry, I'm getting all like crunched down. Like, oh, I have to make sure it all lines up. You get really into it when you're at this for hours and hours, just trying to make it all work. And you know, it's not overly difficult, but the dedication to, see, that was way off. The dedication to the perfection of every step is definitely there. I want to make sure it's as good as I can possibly make it, and that stands for everything I ever make. Is I want it to be as good as possible. So there we go. There we go. Okay. We're getting there quickly. See, this guy's off a little bit more, so you've got to keep an eye on that. Perfect. So I guess while I'm doing this, again, give some shout outs. And so I give a shout out to, again, my buddy John for all his help and all his encouragement. Definitely been a big driving force on why my my skills have improved so quickly, so quickly. I was gonna say why they've grown so much so quickly is kind of what I meant to say. And if they are watching or after when the video goes up, shout out to my buddy Jeremy and his son Eli. I hope you guys are enjoying. I know that it's always cool to see me make something cool and sci-fi. I know I'm a big fan, so I appreciate the love and support. Definitely, you guys are awesome. So I appreciate it very much. And we're gonna make something really neat for you guys to take a look at. So there we go. So almost done. Okay, and I'm gonna make one more copy of this and move him and kind of line up this on the very edge of this, just so that I have a guide for where that middle one has to go. Okay. That looks pretty good. I am a little concerned about the first one on the list. It's just hard to tell. Okay. Now that those are all pretty good, let's save wheel shapes. Let's give it a name real quick. Okay, so solids. Ooh, yep. Oh, that's that one down there. Cool. So you, sir, are pretty good, I think. Can zoom in a little bit more. Okay. That's good. That's good. These will go a little bit quicker because we don't have to have the like two at a time. They need to be lined up. It's just one each time. I'll make a duplicate of this and actually do this one while I'm thinking of it. And just have to equidistance this out. Make sure it's lined up. The other thing I did, which will help us, is take a moment. I'll talk about the UVs for this model. They were not optimal to begin with, and I think I know why. I think the original model was never really intended to be sort of like a big, very detailed paint kind of. It was never intended to be a challenge piece for other people to kind of tear apart, even in the beginning. And I think what it was it was modeled and sort of painted such. It's very well done. I'm not trying to doubt that, but I'm saying it was not intended. I think it was supposed to be like a proof of concept kind of thing, or like a, you know, a concept piece. You just do high poly, and you know, and that's good. See, something got off here because this should be like this distance. Try to see what got messed up because they're all lined up. Oh, we'll just let that ride and see what happens. So it did take a little bit of work to get the UVs kind of mixed out. Yeah, something got totally off. Well, where did my count go wrong? That's lined up, that's lined up, that's lined up. All lined up. Well, we'll see what happens at the end. And the UVs were not optimal for painting right out the gate. So I actually spent quite a bit of time and got them all lined up so that we could do this today, because I really wanted to do this today for you guys. Okay. J, J. See, now they're almost completely overlapping. It's just getting worse as it goes along, which doesn't make any sense because I lined these up. Yeah, something happened here. Let's take a look. Oh, no, it's getting better. I think it's a ramp kind of thing going on, because we still got all this. What is Skype yelling at me for? I'm glad that we're doing well so quickly, only an hour and a half in here, because we definitely have a lot to do to this car to make it as good as we can make it. And even if I don't win anything, that's fine. It's the challenge is what's interesting. The challenge is what's fun. So that's what we're going for. There we go. Okay, so we have a tire tread pattern. 1. So these two things together we need to duplicate. And we need to do some adjustments to them. So bring them down. And I need to be able to see. So I want to make sure we do a very similar process to this one. So it's difficult to do in this scenario. So line this up on the bottom. And this guy needs to go all the way up to here. Oh, I just saw out my window, I just saw a sandhill crane walk right by my window, and it was a little freaky because it looked like just a random person just walking by my window. That was rather interesting. Okay. Okay, that's good. That's good right there. Now let's bring this all the way down. This should go right there. And this needs to go all the way to right there. Perfect. It kind of snaps. And the one thing you can do is, if I can stretch this beyond the edge of the frame, then I might be able to do this trick. Come on, there we go. Yeah. Now I can actually see this over here, and now I can use this. So I want to get this lined up right there. There we go. Now, whew, all that tedium is done, and we should have a really nice tire tread pattern to work with. So let's see what we got. So turn off the UVs. We'll save this as tread. Call it tread 1, because I might do a couple variants of it. Try a couple things. We'll see how it goes. Now, the cool part to this is that we're going to add a layer that is going to be just height information. So I'm going to add, yeah, it's going to be definitely pushed out. It is going to be very rough. And it's going to be not at all metallic. And I'm actually not even going to worry about the color to it. Just want to affect the height, really. Okay, so let's import our image. Import image. My voice is starting to go there. Pardon me. So there's the tread. Import that. Do our bitmap mask. There we go. Okay, and now we just have to paint. So that's what I'm gonna do. Let's see how this works out. And this should work too. And let's take a look at how we did. That's looking pretty awesome. And what I've done is the seam is actually on the very bottom of the tire, so we should never see a seam on these tires, even at all. So, sorry, this keeps getting in the way. That's really cool. I like that a lot. Okay. Vroom vroom, looking good. excited for this. This is looking really nice. I can change the light on that. Some really good tires now, guys. Okay. So that was well worth it. So let's name this tread, and I'm just going to put norm so I remind myself that this is. So I remind myself how to type, so that this is just the normal detail to that. It has nothing to do with anything else. I see what happened there. I'll have to fix that. So excellent. So tire treads are looking fantastic. I really think that looks great. Let me see if I can change my environment map. Maybe that will help. There you go. Yeah, I was getting some strange color. I thought I was getting some strange coloring. Turns out I do have some strange coloring. We got to fix that. Oh man, it's looking great. Let's go ahead and back this off again, so you get a nice high quality shot of those tire treads. And we'll take a quick print screen. Let's get that light moved around somewhere good for the tires. Okay, print screen. All right, let's do another tease. All right, let's do another quick tease image. I just want to keep people interested. So let's do this, let's do this, let's cut that out like so. Okay, new. Okay. Save that. Okay. So now we need to assess where we're going to go next. What's the next piece? And I think we should do some hood decorations, some lines. We're going to do some bumper decorations. We've already done the license plate, which is really cool. And we'll add some things to that. So I think that's what we'll be doing next. So just a reminder again, if you guys have any questions, let us know. Be happy to help. Let me send this really quickly. Where did it go? Tire treads are looking great. Come see. Okay, and there we go. Very good. I'm glad that we got that handled pretty quickly, and it turned out really nice. I'm very much impressed with that. There we go. Haha. Haha, looks great. Okay, make sure I can see the chat. And here we go. So now that we're done with that, let's do a couple more ideas I had for some things for the car, for the well, obviously for the car. I meant for the decorations here. I want to do some high quality decorations. So I was thinking for the back of the car, I usually have like the name of the car. Like for mine, it says, you know, Mazda, and then it says, you know, CX-7, you know, like that kind of thing. So I had some ideas for that. And I did a little bit of research, and again, since it's a French company, I was looking up, and the word challenge, or was it challenge or competition? It meant to be DeFi or DeFi. I think it's pronounced DeFi. DEFI. That looks really cool as this nice neat font. So we're gonna do, it's a DeFi model, and then in the SP 1.5 we're up to now. Since it's Substance Painter 1.5, we're gonna do SP 1.5. So that'd be cool. We're gonna put that in there, and it's gonna be like a Chrome text. So that's what we're gonna do next. All right, so if we bring up our, this is our shapes, which we don't need that at the moment. We need our body UVs, here they are, and we need to find our area, which is right here. There it is. We need to make sure it's on a relatively flat part because these UVs are a little distorted, and if we go with that, then I'll show you them here. They need to be, it needs to be up here. It needs to be flat up here. Oh, so that section is actually over here. Oh, good. It is very straight because I want it to be easily read. So that's what we're going to do right there. So let's do that. And we already have this in work. So we can just kind of get rid of this, and let's make a duplicate of this. I'm gonna call this DFI. So I move that, there you go, see? It looks good. I kind of like that, the smaller font. What do you guys think? So I was gonna do like, you know, the challenge, there's like Challenger, the Vector. What would be a good like fast car name? I know DFI doesn't really make me think of anything, but it's what we got. Maybe we'll come up with something different. Not sure. What do you guys think? Anybody in the chat want to give us a suggestion? Not really loving it. It doesn't look as good in this font as I thought it would. So maybe we'll just come up with something different. The allegory, you know, algorithmic. Just playing with some words here. So we'll come back to that, but we'll definitely do the SP 1.5. I think that's a neat thing. I like that. So if we use our UVs here to find our way, we have to go over here, and we'll move this, so we don't really need to, sorry. So this is definitely going to go over here, that's for sure. Now it's just a matter of size, and I do think it's a little big at the moment. Maybe that could be good. So this would be right next to this light here, right here. Just take up these two blocks, and that's a bit more than what we have so far. I would take up those two blocks and then a little bit, but I think it's pretty. I think it's pretty good. So SP 1.5, the name of the car, and a logo right in the middle. So for the logo in the middle, I do know kind of what I want to do for that was I wanted to take the algorithmic logo and make like a logo out of it, make it like a car logo kind of thing. And I really like what they've got going on here with that, and I'm not sure how to replicate it. But let's just kind of get it in here and we'll figure it out. So we'll take that. Or no, the Sketchfab logo would actually be really good too. Or I'm sorry, the Painter logo. Painter logo would be really good. I was about to pick those. Now where is my Painter? I saved one of the images of the from the Painter thing. So it's just a moment, I'll find it. There it is. I saved this image so that I could come in here and take the logo. Yeah, that's what I wanted. So take the logo. Ooh. Nope. There we go. Take the logo. There we go. Sorry, algorithmic, but your logo's been used quite a bit. We're gonna use this the Painter logo. But just the S. I think the S is really cool. I think it has a lot of personality, strong, and it definitely looks like a like the kind of thing that you would see on a car, you know. So I'm gonna tilt my head for a second and figure out how big I want to make it. There we go. So that's what I want for that. So let me hide the rest of this stuff. Save as my new stencil. Let's see. Car logo rear. Yeah, that'll be good. Excellent. Okay. So let's go back to the body of the car. Back to the body textures. And I think this is in our base paint area. Am I correct by that? I am. Okay, cool. So let's add a paint layer. Oh no. Oh no. That is definitely a friendly reminder to save. That's what that is right there. Friendly reminder, make sure you save. Okay. Let's put this up top. And I want to try something. On this layer, if I just make a stroke, what happens? Okay. And now if I bring back my color, and I have it something crazy, does it work? I have a thought, and I think I know. Oh no, we're good. Excellent. All right then. Bitmap mask. Gotta import it. I always think that once I save it, it's done. But there you go. You got what you needed. So let's do a bitmap mask of this guy. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. So we're gonna make this. Let's just make them white. I want to make them very almost like chrome. It's gonna be crazy. So let's do metallic, very metallic. There you go. Yeah. Roughness, not at all right. Yeah, let's just go. Well, not quite that crazy. We'll try it out. Okay. So we zoom in on our paint. Try to make it so you guys can see it too. And we're just gonna paint right in this area, right here where it should be. Give it a second, catch up. Oh man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Look at that. Boom. I even think it could be just a little bit bigger. Yeah, we're gonna make that a little bit bigger. Come on, undo. Thank you. You, sir, are so awesome. We want you to be maybe 125%, we think. Let's see. So now I think what I need to do is save this again. And if I rename it the same, I wonder if, well, obviously that will replace, but what does it do here when I re-import it? Does it just give me 2 in here, or? No, I think it just replaced it, which is nice. I'm gonna remove the mask for the moment because I want to make sure that it's adding the current one and that it's not just keeping from the previous. Oops, nope, down here please. Okay, let's add that in. Here it comes. It's thinking about it. It's calculating all the channels at once. So there we go. Perfect. Oh man, it's looking really sleek. I'm really enjoying this a lot. Okay. that's really good. So let's do the SP15 now. Save as. Car logo text. I'm gonna call this text 2 because we're gonna figure out what text 1 is in the future. So save that and import right away. They're kind of together on the sheet, which is nice. And now, okay, so this is going to be our logo rear. Make a new paint layer. Our logo rear text 2. And you can just kind of call it the same thing. That way I know what I'm talking about. There it is. I'm going to go with the same settings essentially. So make sure we can see and just paint that in. Oh, I got it. There we go. SP 1.5. There we go. The Substance Painter 1.5 model. That's pretty awesome. I gotta admit, I do like that a lot. Okay, I do want to do one more thing. Let's see. Well, I want to do a lot of more things. But, what's the word I'm looking for? This is the trunk. I'm just going to call it trunk lock. And trunk lock hole. Okay, so I'm going to make a like a little spot for where you would okay. I'm gonna make a little spot for where you would put in your key in the back in order to unlock the trunk. Something like this. Let's see. If I just click there, how's it gonna look? That's pretty good. Now what I need, it's a little too low. See, it's starting to fold. I'm pointing at the screen like you can see what I'm talking about. Right here, we're starting to come across that fold. So let's turn on the wireframe again so I can see it. There we go. See, that's handy. So let's put it right above that point. Or we got to put it down here and right here. I think we can do that. We could do that. Put it right there. So I'm going to use this actually to line that up. Okay, right there. Click. Turn off the wireframe. Give it a second. There we go. Good. Now what I need though is I need an alpha, or I need a brush shape that can be like a vertical lock kind of looking shape to it. So now I think I'm going to use the first official stencil. So I know exactly the shape I'm looking for. It is not at all here. Sort of like this. But I do want the edges to be a lot more round. Let's go 20 pixels. There you go. Yeah. Sort of like that. So we're going to call this lock hole. That's good. Alright. And now let's go to lock hole. And for my brush, I'm going to give it a stencil. But need to import it first. That's going to be the one thing I do over and over again. Like, what was I trying to do? Oh, that's right. Import a stencil. Okay, so we can find it over here. There it is. And just drag it right over top of the stencil. Now the stencil will appear on the screen. And now we can work with this. So I'm going to move this out so we can see this really quick. So I just need to line this up. Something like that. Okay, now what I need is for the height to go negative this time. And I want it to be very rough. And that looks good. I'm just going to paint that. And let's see how that turns out. Bring that back. Okay, that's really good. One last thing though. I'll make it black. So that when I paint this, it will go with the normal map being indented inward, but then it will be painted black in the actual hole. So now, when I bring this back, and as we zoom around, it actually looks like a little lock where you put that. That's great. Okay. I approve. That looks really cool. So now let's see if we can do some other cool stuff with some stencils, or actually instead of stencils, just straight lines. Let's go paint trunk seams. We're gonna attempt this. Okay. Let's turn off our stencil. Our brush is pretty good. What size is that? I want to make sure we keep a consistent size. 0.65. Okay, good. And what we're going to do here is it's going to be black. Our height is actually going to be negative. We're going to cut into the surface, sort of like sculpting. Extremely rough. Not at all metallic. We'll make it metallic, just in case. Okay. So we're going to attempt this. So I want to actually paint. Is this on this layer? Hope not. Add it. Come on. Okay, so we need to make a mask. Black mask. And I think I can just click this guy. Okay, come on. There we go. Now I should be able to do what I'm thinking of doing. Turn on our UVs. This might make this a little bit easier. Yeah, there we go. We can follow this line. What I want to do is actually try to create some the seams from where you would open and close the trunk. But I would like to go up and over the actual shape of the thing too. That's just not going to work. Let's see if I can add to this. Of course I can. I know I can, but just think it out loud. Doesn't look as good as I wanted it to. Nope. Okay, we're going to have to find another way to do that. I know that I want to do that, but that's not going to be a good way to do that. So we will find another way. But that is definitely a... we must do that for this. I wish I could make my color... If I could make the color be completely transparent, then when we paint these seam lines, it would probably take the default color with it. But we'll come back to that guy, because he doesn't really need a lot at the moment. Let's go back to the wheels for a bit. We did stuff here. I do want to do some stuff to the front, like the hood as well. Put the crest on the hood. Figure out where on the hood would that go. Probably about here. We can do that too. So car logo rear. Yep. Can just make a duplicate of that. this is under the base paint, which is not the hood. I don't think the hood is. Oh, the hood is in this. The hood is in this channel. Alright, let's make a duplicate of this. Okay, we'll call this car logo hood. There we go. Yes. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back. So, our Substance logo, there he is. And let's turn on our UVs again so we can see where we're at. We're right here. And let's make a duplicate of you. And move you over to the hood. Go to the hood, yo. And we gotta figure out exactly where this is gonna go. And I'm thinking, turn on our UVs, let's see where things are. Yeah, right here in this little spot. So this is right as it starts to curve down, right in the center. Why is this a different color though? I thought that was, oh, it's an overlap to our light gray. I see. So it's actually going to be in our light gray group that we're going to add this. So if we just move it. Come on. Thank you. All the way up. Right there. Okay. So he's going to go right here in the middle. So let's take a look. If we rotate and position, yeah, right there in the center, right as it starts to come down. I'm going to zoom in, make sure we get exactly on the nose, or as exactly as possible. That's pretty good. Okay, so we'll put the Substance logo there too. Turn you off, turn that back on. Save as. I'm gonna call this hood logo. Alright. Hope you guys are enjoying. I appreciate you guys sticking with me. The 2-hour mark now. We got one remaining for today, so I'm trying to get as much as we can done in one day. Alright. Hood logo's going in. So I'm going to remove the mask from this because it's the old mask, and we will add the new one. Bitmap mask. I think that's you. Yep, that is you. And all these settings should be the same from the previous, except for the color. So the height all the way up, the roughness. We put it at 0.2, is that what we did? Yeah. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. Let's paint it and see what happens. Ta-da! That looks pretty awesome. So we got, plays with light well, works out really nicely. Okay. We got some good start on this guy. Let's go ahead and make sure we fix a couple of things I see that we got going on here. Headlights group. I think I clicked through to some things that we should not have. Okay, that's been corrected. I know we have a very monochromatic palette so far. We are going to add some pops with these headlights, so we'll add some color to that. Let's go to our light gray group. Let's add this so we can. Oh, turn it on white would be nice. There we go. Can we add that without adding too much? No. We'll add those. You can always do. Right now I'm masking just by UVs, which you can mask by actual polygons as well. So I think that's what we're going to end up doing in the future is like I'll mask by polygons and just select some of these things. So I can show you a quick example of that. If I go to polygon right here and say, I want exactly this. So we can cut out some individual shapes by selecting exactly the faces of the model that were used to build it. So you can get some pretty cool stuff doing it that way. So if I do selections like this, see, I could isolate areas. You know, I think we do want to have a different trim color along all of this. Something like this. Come on, there you go. So something like that, and then you can keep, you know, this area a different color if you wanted it to be. So I do think we'll be doing that for sure. And I'm not sure if it does a good job or not with. I think it does. Yeah. I don't want to select through the car and select an area that I did not intend to touch. You know. Seems to work best if you click on the majority of the face, so like right in the center of the triangle. It seems to respond the best that way. So I'll just do this quickly. I just want to balance it out so that when we're all done, we'll take a screen capture, and we don't want it to be come on. Don't want it to be uneven. Just do this side real quick. Oh. Okay, let's do that, and that. Not sure if I did down that way. Oh, I'm selecting too much. Yeah, should not be selecting these faces at all. Nice, easy way to undo. Come on. It's nice and quick. I like the masking ability is very quick. Masking is very important because you want to make sure you're only selecting the detail you really mean to. Okay, come on. Let's get this handled. I'm going to work on our tires some more. There we go. Come on. I think it's actually getting some of them, but I'm just impatient and I click too much. There we go. Okay. Let's turn that back off. So let's work on the wheels a little bit more before we end in the next hour. So we will see. Oh, see, yep. I selected a whole bunch of stuff I did not mean to select. I can do it by UVs. I should be able to. So I completely unselect this whole UV shell. Maybe that'll help. Come on, unselect. Unselect. Thank you. So it does not do as good a job, unless I missed, probably missed an option that says don't select through the entire mesh. So I think that was my fault. All right, so let's do some cool stuff with the wheels. Go back to the wheels, get some cool stuff going on there. All right, so I had an idea for the wheels here, and what we need to do is kind of plot it out a little bit. So let's bring in the wireframe. This area needs to be metal, and then we need an internal rim, but I wanted to do sort of a, I forget the word for it, but a pattern in here. So let's go ahead and make ourselves, oh, we already have that. Make ourselves some shapes, shall we? So, no, it's right there. Wheels, there it is. Bring back our UVs, okay. So for our large areas, let's find out where those are. If we do a new layer, doesn't matter what it is at the moment. let's do a black mask on UVs. I want to know what this area is and this area is. Where are those? Those two. Okay. This and this. Very good. So now that we know where we're looking at, let's create a shape. And I have a neat idea for the shape. I kind of want it to be this fanned out kind of shape. And I kind of wanted to make it from the algorithmic logo even. I think that would be pretty cool. So I will show you what I'm thinking about for that. Their logo right here, this like wing shape, I wanted to use something kind of like that. So if we bring that in, and I'm going to scale it up, which I know it gets a little pixelated doing that, but that's okay. And I'm going to cut out the wing shape, because we want to kind of use that. We're inspired by that. We're going to use that. So I'm not going to be incredibly precise, but I will. I guess I will kind of end up being pretty precise. Okay, there we go. So something like that, and I like this thing here too. So if we take both of these, I think we can create something pretty neat. So I'm going to make a copy of that, new layer, and I'm going to paste it. Okay, that's pretty cool. And for you, I need to do a little bit of trimming. Need to clean it up just a little bit. There we go. Okay. So that's pretty good. So what I think I'm going to do is take this, and I want to make a like a spoke kind of shape out of this, using this as the center and then kind of mirroring it around. So make a duplicate because I don't want to mess it up, and I'm going to select everything else and then inverse and then turn this pure white. And I know we lose a little bit of the design from it, but I like it a lot. Select, deselect, transform, and let's make it smaller because it needs to fit in this area. Make it a little bit wider, a little bit thinner. It's kind of a back and forth sort of thing. Okay, I really like that very much. Okay. That's pretty cool. I think it'll look cool. And now if we do this, and I'm going to move the center point, but first what I need to do, I'm going to make some guides. There we go. So now if I move the center point and line it up with my guides, now I should be able to make a copy rotated around that point is the idea. Is there a tool with this? Let's see, transform. I thought maybe there was a tool that I could just do that. You know, I want to make an array. I guess there isn't. Whoops. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, there we go. This is a little tricky because what you have to do is each time I have to use the first one because it's straight on. Because I can't use the second one because it won't rotate correctly. And it's a little odd and it's already off. That's frustrating. Even the second one is already off. Duplicate. But I moved the point. Yeah, it cuts into the. Okay. It's not gonna work, so we're gonna make it a little bit smaller because the front of it keeps clipping in too far. So, all right, let's try this now. There we go. Now no matter where I put it, it's not gonna mess with us. So from here, 1, 2, 3, go back, duplicate, transform. So I just had to do this a few times, so I apologize for the delay of excitement, but it'll be very exciting once it's complete. So I could, in theory, once I get to like the 90 degrees, I could use one of those, but I don't trust it. So 1, 2, 3. There. There's no guarantee that this will, look really, really cool, but I think it will. I just kind of came up with it while we were talking, so I said, you know what? That might be really cool to have that shape kind of cut out of the wheel. So that's what we're gonna do. And I think you guys will like it. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Whoa, no. I want to move this instead. Sure it's right in the center. Boom. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Alright, so we have that. And the real difficult part for this would be that once we're all finished with it like we are, I'm going to make a duplicate and I'm going to collapse it all. Because now what we need to do is we need to move it and line it up with the second set of wheels down here. So let's see if I can do that. Create new guide. Let's move it down. Whoa, no. Transform. I'm going to use my center thing there and let's scale. Uniform length. Hey, it's supposed to be scaling. That's annoying. It'll be a very precise scale for them all to fit without, and they're not all gonna fit. Okay. So we'll have to do that. We're gonna have to do that one manually. So yeah, that's annoying. Make a duplicate and move this out of the group. Group that first part. Move the new one down. Scale it down a bit further. Get them lined up. And we'll do that one in a second. I want to see how it looks first. So we're all set there. For the first one, let's hide all the wheel stuff. And save as. So we call this wheel. Cut out one. So I'm going to do 2 of them. So Let me get back to make sure I can see the chat. If you guys have any questions, apologize, I've been kind of focused, laser focused. Alright, so let's hide that. Okay, I think this is a bigger one that we started with up here, so we're going to do a new layer, and we have to import our image. There it is. And we'll use that as a bitmap mask. There we are. Okay. So for this, first I'm going to height, I want to cut out. Very rough, very metallic. Maybe a little less rough. That's good. And for the color, let's go with dark gray. Somewhere in that range. Okay. Let's just try it and see how it looks, and then we will work on correcting it in a second. See if we like it. See if we like it at first. I don't think it's too bad. I think we definitely need more things going on outside of it, but I think it's pretty good to start with. Like a cutout type of thing. I want to put a ridge around it, and I definitely want to put some seam lines in between it. I think that could be pretty successful. Play with the light on it. Yeah. Yeah, it's not too bad. Okay, maybe not so dark behind it though. A little bit lighter on it. I don't know. Let's try something and see if it gets any better. If not, then not everything is a winning idea, you know. We gotta kind of see what works. So let's do custom shape. Yeah, let's just not make it complicated. Let's just do this guy. Let's do this. You're going to go there. What we want to do here is create a shape, move it into place, and we're going to, you know, do the angle thing, but we want to angle it in between all these other things. So I'm trying to figure that part out. There we go. So I can move that into place. So I can then angle this to go kind of in between. Duplicate. Put that in place. Angle this line to go in between. I'm going to try and break up these panels that it's in and see if that will make it better. So we'll see. Hoping this will work, but if not, we'll try something else. Should be almost done. One more. And what we'll do is we'll hide the first group so that this can be an independent shape. We can make it a different color even if we want to. So let's save this as wheel cutout lines. There we go. Okay. File. There we go. Add it above. Okay, now for this guy, let's go real black lines and see what happens. And yeah, height real negative, or maybe if it's a positive, let's try that actually. Positive, so you go really bright with its roughness down quite a bit. Yeah, let's see what that looks like instead. Just an idea. We'll see how it turns out. I already don't know. We'll see. No, something about it just seems kind of off. Okay, let's try it as a negative. Negative, extremely rough. Maybe not. Definitely try it as a negative though. Interesting. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but I don't know, something about it just kind of bothers me. It just seems like it's too, it's too, it's a good idea, but it's just not right, you know? Especially when you look at it as the car as a whole. I don't know, it's kind of growing on me a little bit. Looks very choppy. Here's an idea. Maybe what we can do instead. Now that we've wasted a lot of time. Oh, it happens. It happens. We need to make a pattern or something, but we do have a lot of brushes to use. Let's take a look at some of our brushes, because I have a whole lot of like tech brushes that maybe there'd be a cool tech brush that we could use that would give us some sort of a shape to that would be kind of cool. You know, these I think are way too detailed, but this is the kind of thing I was talking about. You know, if you just line this up and yeah, that's a neat looking thing, but I don't think it's right for this, you know, not right for this application. But there's some cool brushes we can use. Let's take a look. See, that's not so bad. This is a pretty good one. This is a pretty good one if I line it up right. See, that's not bad. Kind of minimalist. It would look really cool as it's spinning, so we could try that. Let's turn off the UVs and just try it out. I'm just gonna rename this guy. Yeah, I'm just gonna rename this guy as that. Let's do that. And if I go here, reload you, and let's hide that. Is that the first one? Yeah. See, that looks really cool like that. Just those lines. But then what would you put in there? You know, I feel like you need to put something in there. Maybe you don't. but the good part is we can just keep messing with it. So here we can just mess with this and see what we like. See, we can make spirally wheels, and you can just kind of layer things too. So you can say, hey, let's bring those back, and you can combine them. Now they look kind of weird right now because they overlap strangely, but you can do that. You can take a look. I really like this. This looks super clean, which is kind of what we're going for. So I really like that. That's definitely a solid start. But now my brain wants to put something in the middle there, so I'm thinking of what we can put in the middle. So let's take a look. So we say no thank you to you, but we like these guys. So we end up with these excess shapes. Can we do something with the excess shape? And I think we can if we do it right. I think there was a shape that would kind of fill that mold. Let's just start playing with things and see what happens. I wonder how much solidity these things have to if I did something like warp to it. There you go, and like moved. See, we can make some pretty cool shapes to go in there if we just kind of play around a little bit. Okay, and transform path, distort. Oh wait, can't go too far because we need to. Something like that wouldn't be too bad, would it? And maybe a small shapes in there. That's pretty good. I like that. Let's add this to a group so we can kind of stay organized a bit. And I want to make, nope, make a duplicate. So let's try this out. I'll be really quick. Oops. Go. And if I bring these back just as a guide to make sure I'm not, putting them inside of things. See, look, this one, which one is it? This guy. He's off already. He's all the way on the edge, and I don't understand that. The annoying shapes. So let's go ahead and do this. Actually, I just got a great idea. Undo that. What happens if we duplicate all of these? Move this to the center. Does this work? For the most part, and now we do have to do a little bit of adjustment. Because once again, it's touching the wall, which does not make sense to me at all. It's this one. Yeah. Very good. I need just 2 more. You 2. You 2 will do. You would think that because these are rotated based upon a center point that they should be solid every time, but that is not the case. Okay. So we'll try this and see what happens. Given those strange names, but so that I'll kind of know what they are. Of course, you can always look at them visually too, which is nice. So we're just going to delete that and add a new one. Bitmap mask, you. Okay. So now we get to decide on this. I think we want these to be pushed out and a little bit rough, something like that, very metallic, and kind of a shade color. Let's try this and see how this looks. I don't know. Not completely in love with it, but it's better than the first thing. That is for sure. Let's try putting a negative height. If it's a pushed in shape rather than a pulled out shape, does it feel different? No, not really. Okay, well, I think we just add some seams to it and, you know, call it good, because it seems like it's a really nice shape already. I don't want to mess with it too much. But I was thinking of one more thing that would be interesting and could go well with something like this. So I'm just going to delete that because I really don't like it. But if we bring up our brush again, it's too pixelated too quickly. My plan was to have a sort of a light in the wheel, so that when the wheel spins, it would kind of make a solid green light, or I'm sorry, an orange light. So that was the idea, but what is this exactly? I'm curious. It's a crescent moon. That's what that is. Okay, so none of this is really going to work out too well. But I like some of these shapes. I would like to be able to use some of these shapes. With this is, you can't make it too big, but something like this as like a nut or bolt kind of thing would be pretty cool. So if we did that, and then if we did, what is this? Oh, I thought that was a circle, because it looks like a circle. Okay, we did this, and then what if this was like a bolt? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, we're getting somewhere. So let's group this together and make a duplicate. I have an idea. I'm gonna redeem myself, guys, from my previous terrible idea. Okay, so let's come over here. And what we're going to do is scale this down a bit. And this guy's going to become our kind of bolts. I'm going to use these. Probably needs to be smaller. Just a little bit smaller. I don't want to make it too small because we'll lose a lot of the detail. But here's the idea. This is a bolt. And if we rotate it such like so, kind of put one there. Oh, sorry, I'm pointing at the screen again. One here, up here, and up here. And it'll just look like bolts for those individual large panels that go around. Maybe that will help it. So let's see how that works. So I need to do the same kind of thing over here. Just trying to center the circle part and then align this roughly horizontally to this shape here. So let's do that. And we'll put one kind of up here in the corner. We'll see how that looks. We can do just one as a quick test, and then that way we don't have to spend a lot of time on it. Okay. There we go. Okay, let's just see how that looks. I'm going to hide these panel lines again. So we're only going to get the one in this shape at the moment. I'm only going to get the one. I think that'll be okay, that one up there. Let's call this bolt test. Kind of sci-fi looking bolts. And what was this? This was that. So just like Photoshop, you can just keep throwing layers in here and try it out. So hope you guys are enjoying. Please let me know if you any questions, comments, anything like that. Be happy to figure it out with you guys. Is that a bolt test? It is. Okay, so the bolts are definitely going to be all the way up. I think they should be pretty metallic, very low roughness. Somewhere in 3.5 range is good. And there we go. Okay, let's give it a whirl. That's decent. Now the question is, how is that going to look when it's rotated all the way around with a whole bunch of bolts? I think it'll get kind of messy. Either they need to be a little bit smaller, or we just take the outer rim ones or something. So let's worry about that in a moment, and let's do a little bit of organization here, and let's also get ourselves underway for the other parts of this. So let's call this center lug, and add a black mask, UVs all the way up. Let's click the center. Give me what I wanted. Yep. Center. Okay, cool. So now we can paint these. Do a fill, I guess. That's good. We'll put that in there. And you can be kind of uniform, pure. Oh, no, not pure mirror. No, thank you. You want this to be metal. Do painted steel, and that'll work. We'll adjust it quite a bit. Come on. Almost there. There we go. Okay. So this very center piece in the middle is just a, solid lug. Actually, I don't like that. this uniform titanium. There we go. Roughness is very low. I'll give it a color. I want to choose the same color as the but that looks pretty good right there. I'll just keep that for now. Alright, so we'll start to organize this so we have our wits about us for the next time. Let's do center. I'll call this the center cap. Do a black mask, UVs, click U and U. I'm doing this for both wheels simultaneously, so U and U. There we go. And I'll add a fill layer to that as well. Probably a uniform color as well. There we go. Just to start. Just to start. And what I'm going to do here is give you a lot more roughness. Okay, that's good. Now I've noticed that went a little overboard on one of these paints. Oops, not that one. Yeah, the lines. I need to do a little bit of painting out on some of those. Can I do that? Can I choose to undo this? Not really, because it's a bitmap mask. Okay. I'll have to update the bitmap on that. So let's do that. UVs. Yeah, it's these guys. Just because I'm nervous about making a mistake. Let's do that. Do this. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this guy and just do a simple erasing, because I don't want to be cutting into the next UV shell, which is what it's doing currently. Okay. We're just going to cut right through this. There we go. And delete. And now if I make sure this is the only thing selected. Yep. I'm assuming we're going to try this out together. I'm looking for okay, we'll try that. Okay, and now you bitmap mask, if I choose this. Aha, oh, that's really cool. Yeah, it just took that away. That's very good. Okay, so we got one more thing to add to this for now. Why did that not take? Add a folder. There we go. Center. Center background. I'm not quite good with terms for some things. Black mask, white by UVs. Choose you. Choose you. There we go. And let's, we'll add a fill for now. Let's give it a base color. We're gonna make it darker. There we go. Just to kind of get some basic shape going on for it. I think that's gonna look pretty nice. Okay. I think we got a lot done in our first crack at it here, guys. I know that some of it's a little slow. Sometimes, I apologize. It's just sort of the nature of the work. But I really do hope that you're enjoying. I hope that it's valuable to you to see, to watch. I hope that it's fun, very much so. I'm going to save our work here. Let's go and save. Oops. Come on, save as. Make sure we keep up with it. There we go. Challenge 1, 3. There we go. Save. So important part of when you're learning something or when you're working on a project like this, we want to make sure that let's take some good notes here. I have a notepad right here. Take some notes as to what we did and what did not work and what we're going to have to focus on next time. So the good is that our tires were really good. I'm going to make a note here that we need to work on the actual wheels. Let's say the wheel wells, those little inside parts, and we got to do some masking, some fixing for the masking. Something about back here just still bothers me. Maybe it's the license plate. The license plate kind of just looks a little off. I really like it, but at the same time it's sort of like, I don't know. We'll see. Something about it is bothering me. And we need to get some more color into it. It's kind of monochromatic, but I did want to go with like a white, gray, sci-fi-ish sort of thing going on for it. So we shall see for that. But I think that I definitely want to go for that, but I just have to figure that out. Let's try on shadows. How does it look? It's okay. Okay, so we'll add some notes to ourselves here that next time we're going to work on. We need to add some dirt to the tires. So I have that as a note. And we're going to finish up the body paint next time. Make sure that all of the body stuff is done, and then we'll move to the interior because we do have even more to paint on the inside. We got the inside, we got the leather chairs. I'm going to put one of the logos as like a sewn in logo there. We got to work on the engine part, but for now we'll just kind of splattered some paint everywhere all over it, get kind of a feel for it, get some designs going, and I really like where it's headed. I think it definitely has a lot of great potential, so I'm excited to see where it goes. So I appreciate you guys very much for coming out today and taking a look, seeing what we're doing. I really am enjoying it so far. I think it's got a lot of really cool designs already, and I think the tires came out great. I think we're going really well, so excited for next time where we can continue this. I'm going to make it sort of a rule for myself for this challenge that I'm not allowed to work on this without you guys. So this will only be as a live stream. It will be recorded, so you can watch it later as well. But it will only be live stream, so I'm not going to work on anything on the car without you guys. I might do some research, write some ideas down, try a material or two, but I'll just have that stuff ready for the next time we meet. So again, thank you so much for joining me, guys. Let's do a post stream. Here are the links and things. If there's anything you guys want to keep up with me, definitely this is the best way to do it. And you have a brand new pilgrimage episode coming to you guys tomorrow. A new episode every Sunday forever, as long as I can keep it going. And if you have questions, comments, anything you're learning, anything you are struggling with, definitely please let me know. I'm excited to help you, and I want to make sure that everybody grows as an artist. So I thank you guys so much for joining me today. It was a lot of fun, and I look forward to next time. So until next time, keep practicing, get better, and I'll see you next time.